All right, today on Cabal Cast, we have a very exciting replay here. We are on a 2 versus 2 game on unsound investments. And looking at the screen here, you're thinking, okay, there's a lot of very, very good players here. There's observers like Commander Anar, there's Holy for the Win, Chief Funtaker, and Cyberstorm XX. But the players here today is Impossible, which is a very, very good which was a very good 2v2 player back in the day. This replay was back in 2009, so it's 7 years old. That's how old this is. His partner is the legendary himself, Dynamic. Yes, Dynamic himself. They're both playing as Blackhand against another very, very good player back in the day, Boffinek. He was very good as well. And Kezir 666 Killer, he was a player who was okay back in the day. And then he switched. He plays a lot of Red Zone now. But he's playing Steel Talons, and Boffinek is Zocom, 2v2 on Unsound Investments. I'm super excited for this one. So we see here, down in the bottom right, we see, I didn't check the colors again. This is Kezir Killer 666. He's playing as Steel Talons. And his partner is Boffinek. He's playing as Zocom. So this is patch 1.02 plus, because back then there was no such thing. Oh, this is patch 1.02, because back then there was no such thing as 1.02 plus. And his, this is... I didn't check the colors again. This is Impossible. He's playing as the pink Blackhand, and the legend himself, Dynamic. He's playing as the purple Blackhand. So both these players, or all four of these players, are going to go for some tip spikes. That looks like, I think Dynamic isn't going to call the back spikes, or maybe, no, because Impossible is going to go for the back tip spikes. He's also got a single reference squad here. That's from Boffinek. He looks like he wants to capture this tip spike away from Impossible. Looks like he will do so. And what's going to be I'm just going to call him a Killer, because that's just short name for it. He's going to grab the tip spike here. Dynamic is a little too short because his Conventional Cabal squads are really, really slow. And good news is for a Killer, he can just build fast foxholes so that he can get combat engineers to that tip spikes there. And now a lot of players did this a lot back in the day. They didn't build refiners like right here. They build them right here. And it was pretty popular back then. Looks like Impossible is going to lose his... squad to this bunker right here that's been built by Boffinek. And who called the back spikes? I think Killer called the back spikes, so that's very good. And I think Impossible got the back spikes for himself, so like the Dynamic is down an engineer. I'm not sure if he's going to grab. He has two engineers standing right in the middle of nowhere, so you know, if Killer wants to, he can just bring in an APC and just take those two saboteurs out. But he looks like he's not going anywhere. And Impossible's been defeated. What? What the hell happened? Impossible's been defeated. Okay, so this replay it did say 2v1 Dynamic, so spoiler alert. But how is Dynamic gonna fight a 2v1 versus two good players? Well, 1.5, because Boffinek's very, very good, and Kezir was okay. I don't know. But this is just like the... Yeah, this Kezir Killer doesn't know how to play 2v2 that well on this particular map. I mean, look at this, like a watchtower for defense, like really? And he went for a power plant instead of a second refinery, which wasn't very good, and he doesn't have enough money. He has another defense structure queued, which is very bad. But now Dynamic, since he got the destroyed the foxholes, he's now able to capture the tip spike here, which he'll be rocking 3 tip spikes now. And it looks like I think Dynamic is just going to go for like he has all black hands, so he's going to be building all black hand structures and buildings and units. So he's going to single Pitbull Scout here from Boffinek, so it looks like he's going to be going to scout inside both the bases of Dynamic. And we see another Pitbull here as well, fighting the garrisonable structures. A lot of bikes here from Dynamic, surprisingly, and he's attacking the bunkers here. He wants to use the Saboteur to capture something. Yeah, but look at this. This is not good. I mean, Killer he sucks. I mean, I thought Killer was going to be a lot better than this, but apparently he's not. So, yeah, he didn't have a lot of money. He spent all the cash on just building up 2 Pitbulls and watchtowers. And meanwhile, Dynamic is rocking 2 build queues. I think he's rocking 2 build queues. He's expanding with his MCV to the from his main base to his expansion base. But this is causing Boffinek. I mean, Boffinek is obviously the next pro here next to Dynamic, and he's going to be placing down a command post. With this is going to be a base creep for him, because he's rocking 3 refineries on this field, which is giving them a lot of economy. Although he only has 5 harvesters, which is not a whole lot of economy. Lots of bikes are coming down from Dynamic, and he's going straight to Boffinek's face because he knows a lot of bikes here. That's a good 12 to 15 bikes. He's going to be going straight into Boffinek's base, and Boffinek is going to be reeling from this, knowing that I think Impossible intentionally left the game so that he can give Dynamic a whole lot of economy and a whole lot of stuff. Zorkas are going to be also getting destroyed, and the bikes now are going to be going right through the base, and versus Rocket Harvesters, they don't do a whole lot of damage, although a lot of Pitbulls are going to be reinforcing this base here, and Boffinek is going to be defending out his Harvesters. He only loses 1 or 2 of them, I think. He lost maybe, yeah, I think he lost 2 of them, which is not that good. Cashier Killer is going to be bringing in his Pitbulls to Dynamic space, where Dynamic doesn't have a whole lot of defense here, although he's just spamming out a lot of bikes. And looks like he's getting us some Titans now. Only 4 Harvesters in his field, has not expanded yet. So yeah, Cashier Killer showing that he's not that good in on this map. But his Pitbulls are getting destroyed. He didn't take out any Harvesters. He's just spamming a lot of bikes and shorter term base defenses, showing that Dynamic is the legend that he is. There's a single that Saboteur from the beginning of the game is still in there for Dynamic, and now Boffinek is going to be going for some missile squads now, and just going to be garrisoning up these bunkers here, which I think Dynamic is going to be expanded to that particular area. Yep, and he's just spamming a shit ton of bikes, and he's going for a refinery and a tier 2 structure now, so he's really going to be teching up. And unupgraded Titans coming down the guts, and they're going to be met with riflemen's domestic Cabal squads, and those are going to push the Titans away now. Second War Factory now coming up from Cashier Killer, and he's bringing in a mobile repair transport. Why would you do that? Because the War Factory is can provide the repair that he needs, and mobile repair transports, or MRTs for short, are pretty terrible in 1.02 because their drones just are so slow going behind the MRTs that bad. Another barracks can be placed up now, but another bike attack has been coming off from Dynamic, and it looks like he's going to be attacking Kashir's Killer's base, which Kashir's been on low power for almost a minute now, which is terrible. And Boffinek is going to be sneaking a bunch of Pitbulls in the backside of which used to be Impossible's base, now is Dynamic's base. And Dynamic is going to go for a lot of infantry. He has infantry in his mind, 3 barracks, rocket squad spam, and the Pitbulls now aren't doing a whole lot of harassment. Dynamic has brought all his bikes from this location here, and he's going to be met with a lot of stuff. I think that was, I thought that was a Tip Callus missile, but I just realized that both Boffinek and Killer are both GDI factions. Boffinek doesn't have a whole lot of defense here to begin with. He went for some Zorkas, did not work. Now he's going for APCs with AP. He doesn't have AP ammo yet, and he's going for some more rocket squads. So this could be GG for Boffinek, unless he can't hold this up. But this is a lot of rocket squads. I'm not sure where Dynamic is bringing his. I'm not sure if he even has the tier 1.5. He should have a tier 1.5 to get his infantry upgrades, but I don't think they have them yet. But now Boffinek is going to go for some sniper teams. And sniper teams is a great counter to this sort of thing. And the Decoy army did not work for some strange reason. I'm not sure why. APCs are going to be massacred now because they don't have AP ammo. But Boffinek has a lot of watchtower defense. And this could be enough. He even has Zorka strike coming in to deal with those infantry if Dynamic doesn't go forward enough. But a lot of bikes here now from Dynamic. Is going to be going all across the map, just taking out as much stuff as he possibly can, or just push that force back now. But now since that Orca strike coming in and those sniper teams destroyed the huge infantry swarm that Dynamic had, and Boffinek is going to be dealing with that. But this whole time Dynamic has a lot of economy, like a lot of economy, and he's spamming bikes, he's spamming rocket squads. I think he's just having fun at this point. I mean, this is a legendary replay, so it's supposed to be awesome, but I think Dynamic is just screwing around with a lot of bikes now, and he's just building up a lot of economy, a lot of forces now. And Kashir hasn't been doing a whole lot. I mean, he hasn't not even at tier 2 yet. And the problem with this is that he's showing us that Steel Talons is supposed to be a great counter against Blackhand, for the simple reason that they can just build a whole lot of Wolverines and AP ammo base defenses and just tech up to Behemoths. But now bike attacks coming in, and they're going to be met with Titans now, which Titans wreck bikes, just if you didn't know that. But the bikes have made it in here, and they're going to be taking a couple of those heavy harvesters. Boffinek is going to be placing down some base defense watchtowers, and another refinery from Kashir Killer. But here comes a lot of infantry, and the tier 3 is down from Dynamic. Now coming with a bunch of infantry, and I'm not sure if he has a orchestra coming in, but there's a nice clump up of forces there. nice clump up there. Oh, I thought a lot of it are just decoys. But now this is going to be big massacre, and all those infantry forces are just going to be huge, destroying a lot of Kazir's forces. And a lot of War Marines are here, but they don't have AP ammo. Boffinek has AP ammo, but a lot of these forces are just going to get crushed. And now Boffinek is going to be bringing in his APCs to destroy Dynamic, and another Zorka strike coming in as well. And it didn't do a whole lot of damage, but at the same time, this whole force has been absolutely wrecked. Even with the AP ammo watchtowers, and the watchtowers from Kazir Killer didn't do a whole lot of damage. And I think the problem with this is that Dynamic can just stream in as much infantry as he can and whatnot. He has another MCV here, which he can place another refinery and capture some blue tib. And sniper teams are going to be also on the cards now, and just a lot of rifleman squads, and now AP ammo is going to be coming in against Dynamic. And this force has finally been diminished after a lot of damage. A lot more watchtowers now, so Dynamic is going to have to think of something else. He has tier 3, so he's going to go for a Redeemer, and Redeemer is going to be pretty good now. Boffinek, on the other hand, has tier 3 himself, so I'm not sure if he's going to go for some Firehawks. He can go for a Mire from Mammoth Tanks. At the same time, Kazir hasn't even got his tier 2 up yet. That is embarrassing. Uh-oh, Dynamic has another MCV here, and he placed on that refinery. And now he's just going to be camping this base here with tier 3 base defenses, which is absolutely horrible. Oh, did I see a... Oh yeah, I did see a heroic Rifleman squad. That's awesome. But against a Redeemer, it's not going to happen. So Titan now is going to be pulling back, and that Obelisk of Legend is going to be camping all those harvesters, and Kazir Killer is not going to be happy about this. He's going to have to... He doesn't have tier 3, so I was going to say build Behemoths, but you can't build Behemoths when there's like absolutely nothing. You don't even have tier 2 yet, which is pretty bad. So Boffinek has to force to build a Reclamation hub inside the base of Kazir Killer to get his Marv out. And it looks like base creep here coming up from Dynamic, and now three Obelisk drops isn't going to be on the cards now for Dynamic, and this base is going to be definitely gone. Unless Boffinek can get his Redeemer or his Marv out from that Reclamation hub, and that Redeemer now is going to be destroying that Reclamation hub, which means that the Marv is going to be delayed, and this whole base is going to be crushed, which shows that if you don't tech up and you don't have Behemoths or tier 3 structures to defend this, then you're just going to get absolutely massacred. I mean, there's no question about this. And Kazir Killer lost his MCV. And we see a Viox transfer, which I think it has an engineer in it, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it was a glitch or something. There's a lot of glitches on this map, and in 1.02 back in the day, that when you play a specific faction like Zocom, which if you build Predator tanks, they have the bug, which if you didn't know that is bad. And I tested that out before, that if you have 5 Predator tanks, you can level up a Redeemer by. So if you build 15 Predator tanks against a Redeemer, that Redeemer is going to go heroic. If he kills 15 Zocom Predator tanks, that's how bad it is. The Viox transport goes down, and the Viox transport gives also a lot of veterancy too. If you didn't know that, Kazir Killer has been massacred. He only has one building left, which is that single power plant inside of Boffinek's base. And Boffinek, I don't know what he's going to do. He's just trying to go for a Marv. And Killer's been defeated, so he sold... I'm not sure if he gave all his money to Boffinek. I don't think he did. He gets 4,000, so that's pretty good. Meanwhile, Dynamic has 22,000, so that's going to be absolutely massacred. He's going to massacre Boffinek, but Boffinek's been defeated, so he's not going to fight Dynamic. So, I don't know why this replay was so popular. I mean, it had over 65 wubs for a 13-minute game, and it had over 1,600 downloads. I guess it just shows you that a legend in Dynamic is... he can show you how to survive a 2v1, but at the same time it was a bit one-sided in my opinion. But there we go. So units craft, all dynamic. Structures, all dynamic. Resources, all dynamic. Stats, all dynamic. Not a whole lot of Tiberium harvested in that game. Team 1 was impossible in dynamic. So 22,638 and 167,381. Wow. $100,000 more. Incredible. Okay, so there's your quick game on Unsound Investment, a legendary replay. My name's Cabal, and I'll see you guys next time.